Hello, everybody, and this is the trailer for season 2, actually. And I wasn't really gonna react to this, but I kind of wanted to still. I don't normally watch trailers because on stuff that I plan to watch later because of spoilers. I really hate spoilers. And so I asked, and apparently it doesn't contain many spoilers, I think. So I'm gonna watch it. We'll see you later. And apparently this season is called Faceless, which we found out in the specials that Faceless is the sequence 6 of the Seer pathway. So presumably Klein is gonna reach that, but reaching sequence the last season ended with Klein reaching Clown, sequence 8 of the Seer pathway. So is it possible that season 2 ends with him reaching Faceless? I mean, I actually find that somewhat hard to believe, because that's advancing a lot of stages really quickly. And we know that Klein, because of the acting method, can reach progress very quickly, digest, or more accurately, digest the potions faster than normal. But still, that's an incredible speed that I don't even think that he can reach. Especially now that he doesn't have the support of the Nighthawks. And I'm not saying that Nighthawk necessarily helped with the digesting method, but they helped the revealing of several other issues. For example, money and beyond their knowledge. And now he doesn't have access to it. So now he has to focus more on that instead of the acting method. Which, for example, previously he went to the Seer Club and everything, and he paid a subscription fee, I'm pretty sure. And he can't do stuff like that anymore. And how the hell are you gonna act like Faceless? That sounds very obscure and quite hard to act. So anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Let's just begin. Oh, I thought this was flashbacks, but they aren't. We see Klein with lines on his face. I suppose that's he's trying to grow a beard. It could be two reasons. Or no, actually, I was about to say, because we saw in last season, he of course escaped and he tries to go under a new identity. I think it was Sherlock, something with Sherlock Holmes. But Sherlock Holmes doesn't have a beard, but I think it's mostly just to disguise himself. If he meets somebody, because he knows that Dally is in Buckland and some other people who may recognize him. But that's a terrible disguise, to be honest. It's still growing. It's still growing. It may eventually be something, but I don't. He ain't got that he ain't got that time. I gotta say, I don't think he can really manage to grow a beard or disguise his face fast enough for somebody who would recognize him to not recognize him. Or maybe I'm just underestimating him. Or maybe he can use some of his beyond their knowledge or mysticism knowledge. He is a seer after all, to either grow a beard quickly or just make him harder to recognize. Could be any like that. Slums, destroyed houses. Yeah, bad people begging for money. Not bad people, I didn't mean that, but they're in the slums. And not doing great. It's gathering a lot of despair, I gotta say, and last season it was a major point that it's a terrible place to live. So this does not sound good, and dropping bread. Why dropping bread? I imagine something like this here would be very important. It could be because it's molded beyond recognition, but I still think it would carry somewhat value here, unless it would be poison. Maybe some kind of disease is spreading through this place that people believe spread through the food? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. 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 I don't know Yeah, there we have some person going there, and this is a great shot, by the way. Just in the puddle and the water reflecting, and a hand there. It's quite gruesome. Smoke. Fog. I can't read that. Sorry. I really should have gotten a version with subtitles. And we see a clown face. Aww, we got the whole team together. Everybody. Oh, even old Neil. Oh. Yeah, that's Klein. It looks not half bad, I'm gonna be honest. I like the glasses. And then grave. Train. Steam train. And this is Klein because of the thing around his hand. Moving to a new place. I suppose this is Buckland then. It doesn't look too different, I gotta say. He's up upon some sort of tower, a bell rings. Klein. That's quite interesting, I gotta say. Him in the fog, wearing that outfit and not having his fate modified anything. In the real world, he actually has some beard scruff and everything, so I think it would be possible that how he appears in the fog is maybe how he views himself. But I don't necessarily think that would be the case, since he entered the frog quite soon after transmigrating, and if he appeared like he thought, like how he thinks himself to appear, I think he would manifest in his former body, or with the appearance of his former body. Or it could simply be that, I don't know. Oh, we're traveling real fast now. Going underground, oh. And that's clearly the mark of the true creator. I want to go back. But it isn't really perceptible on this back. It feels like a disease or something, but it may be some body modifying. New character alert. Purple eyes. I like it. I'm still unsure about what to make of this though. It's obviously some sort of mark left by the true creator. And originally I thought it was maybe an effect of a pathway, but no, I think it seems more like a curse than anything. A curse or a disease that could be the product of something from the true creator. Because the true creator, so far we've seen, it's mainly the Aurora Order, and they have the Seer pathway, and they got help of someone from the Spectator pathway, but I don't think there's any real connection there. And of course, Lavinus, Swindler, which I don't know really in which capacity he works with the Aurora Order. I can't quite recall, but yeah, he's a part of the Aurora Order, and I hope we see him again. It would be really fun if he was also in Buckland. Interesting. I get the feeling that this is a high sequence Beyonder. You can't be this... be like this. I think he or she, I don't know, I don't really see it, but looks really cool, and I like the hood and everything, and it gives me the vibe of quite a high sequence Beyonder. But what pathway, I don't know. No. Oh. That's bad. That's bad. Well, I suppose it's good because it's in change, but that's good, right? We did see. Is this? No, this has to be some visual representation of the deity and not the actual deity, because I'm unsure how deities work, and I know that the consequences of looking at them of everything, but what is where are they? Like, where is the Lord of Storms? Where is he? We've seen the sun deity, and it's a literal sun. So does the Lord of Storms manifest just as a bunch of storms huddled together? You wouldn't even be able to recognize it as a deity then. But in this case, the bodies seem very metal, and but the hair seems like actual hair, so it could be the true creator's true body. But if that's the case, uh, hmm, I don't think so. I mean, this place and the character that's opening his arms wide like that gives me the vibe that this is his place. They worship him, and it seems somewhat decayed. So maybe it is like a former church of his, and this is simply a symbol of him that they use to pray to. Or alternatively, this could be a church, or I guess monastery, cathedral, whatever you want to call it, and it is abandoned, and this character who is holding his arm like that just found the true creator. Oh, maybe we're gonna get an origin story about the Aurora Order or something like that. I do want to know more about the creation myth and everything, because the churches, we know that they agree on what happened and some such, but then there's a lot of other deities, evil deities, not official ones, right? And generally they seem to be quite evil, but I'm not too sure about that every unknown deity is evil. But so far, with the true creator and the demoness, they seem quite bad. So, hmm. I'm gonna have a quick look at that again. Do we? No, his hair, the true creator's hair doesn't move. Can we? Is it the same character, the one with the purple eyes and the one with here? I don't think so. The vibe is different. I don't think so. Hmm. I can't judge either where the hell they are. Because as seen above, there's light coming from that. And it could be just because it's day, but we see also there behind that it's dark. So it seemed only to just elevate this statue or the true creator. And he is, of course, in chains. We saw that last season. He's mostly in chains and he is sealed for some reason. Now, what could actually seal a deity? And that would presumably be other deities. So, I don't know. I don't know. I shouldn't speculate anything more. It would just be no reason. Rich person. I see they all drink the same thing. Is it wine or something? We also saw it during the special party. They all drank pretty much the same drink. I wonder what the name of it is, because to be honest, this world feels like it would have a name for the special beverage that every rich people drink, or if they have some sort of special property, could be. And flower symbol on the share, but oh, oh, oh. We see him. These are not the same characters. Are they? I guess they could be if he just didn't take care of his appearance. But no, this guy feels different. And he has something coming out of his hands. They could be extremely long nails. No, there's two coming out of one finger. but I feel like it's more of a puppeteering vibe. It's strings attached to puppets. Puppets. I see there could be some pathway that is like puppeteer or something. That would be quite interesting because I could easily see how you could act like a puppeteer. You know, puppeteer shows could be quite fun, but the abilities that it would grant you, I am also very curious about. Not a bunch of new characters, of course. It's season 2, and we're going to a whole new location. But excuse me. But we're still gonna see a lot of characters we already know. We're probably gonna see Dally. We're gonna see, of course, the Tarot Club, and I don't think we're really gonna meet many other people. Well, of course, we're gonna see Emperor Rosell because I demand that he appears in season 2 in flashback and some such, because every time he appears, it's just phenomenal. I love his appearance. He's such a character. And he's so incredibly important. He gives very important information to Klein. And Klein is searching for his notes. So, of course, we're going to see more. So, that's I'm very excited about. But this character... he seems unsure in his eyes, almost. Not maybe unsure, but there's something in there. And I'm going to say that it's an ally. Too early to judge, but the light going above. Interesting visual. Could it be because they're underground? We did see in the beginning of the trailer this motion of moving underground. So it could be that we're under the pavement and some such. I forgot what it's called, but the sidewalk, you know? And maybe could be some Beyonder hideouts. Or his hideout, I should say. Where his base of operation... Now I no longer feel like he would be a good... It feels like he's... now when I put it together, that I think he would be underground. It feels like a Dr. Hyde situation, where he may be responsible for some kind of plague or something that I think, based on the bread... like, I'm just making the vaguest of theories. I'm sure I'm wrong on almost every aspect, but... Here we have a mirror and a girl looking into the mirror. But it seems more like shattered glass. It is shattered glass. Looking into the mirror. And... is it transparent? It is not. It gives me more of a vibe that it's a looking mirror situation, that they're looking at each other. And it of course would be then a mystical item. Or whatever, beyond the item. Would it? No, it would be... I think it would just be some mystical knowledge, like maybe a ritual or something like that. Oh, angry face. And now that I'm watching them all in quick sessions, I realize how slow I'm going through this trailer, but you have to stay with me. Well, I'm not apologizing. No, that's why you're here. I'm analyzing this. Stop rushing me. Looking mad. So this could be a conversation where something bad is being discussed, or something she disagrees with. She's wearing all black. Maybe something has happened. Maybe she's in a funeral, or maybe she's just a depressed person, and the only way to express it in these times is to wear black. Could be. She's trying to get revenge. No, she's wearing a funeral outfit, it seems like. So maybe she lost a few friends or something. Maybe this in case would be an emergency contacting, like I need to contact you, and she's like, oh, I'm busy, I'm mourning my friends. Oh, it's regarding my friend. And something like that, maybe. Let's go, Leonard! I had a sneaking suspicion he would appear. I didn't mention him because it feels like they could have taken him in several directions. We know that he seeks to join the Red Gloves, I believe their name, and to do that he would of course need to advance in sequence. And I don't know if we would have like that he appears in season 3, and when he appears, it turns out he's gone through this whole journey, advance in sequences and everything. And that's mainly because I don't know where they're really gonna focus on. But it seems here Leonard he's drinking a potion cup, and I'm pretty sure I saw that exact same potion cup when Klein was drinking it, but it seemed longer, so it may be different. But it feels like he's drinking a potion, so he's advancing in sequence, and he's wearing a different outfit, I think. But advancing sequence to Nightmare, and then there is Nightmare sequence 7. Sequence 5 is Spirit Warlock. So I hope we get the names of the other sequences. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get some. This is making me look forward so much because I do want to know the names of those. But he's drinking the potion. I don't think I could speculate too much about this. Usually when they drink potions, it seems like that it is a reward for doing something. For example, in the specials, there was the sailor character had a choice to turn in the ghost ship to get the next potion. So it's probably similar, but they also probably working a system that you can't advance too quickly, either because they fear of you losing control, and you need to digest your potion, obviously, and I don't think you needlessly need to advance, and it would be quite dangerous and expensive for the church. I don't know how prevalent mystical creatures are. Drink it. Ooh, that's interesting. Hold on, just. It is the same sort of drops. This could even be the same scene. That's Dolly. Or Dally. But we know that she's in Buckland. And is Leonard in Buckland? How long is Klein gonna keep hidden? If Leonard and Dolly is in Buckland, and I know it's a big place. Well, I think it's a big place. It should be a pretty massive place, actually. But they're gonna meet up sooner and later, and that's gonna be awkward. And the Klein really need to finish his disguise by then, which I doubt he would. But Dolly, and she has this sort of mournful look about her. Obviously, I mean, Dunn is dead. But we don't know how long time skip, so maybe she's just generally more depressed. Or it's something else. But we see those droplets everywhere. And it seems to be only her and Leonard. So I could easily also see that Dolly is the one who brewed Leonard's potion. It seems like a bit of a complicated process, but she is a high sequence, and so we saw Neil brew a potion. And he is, well, mystery prior. Right? Mystery prior. No. Right. I've forgotten what sequence he was on, but anyway, Dolly teaches Klein about mysticism knowledge also in season 1, so I guarantee, she probably brew his potion. And is giving her warnings. Also kind of want to see them interact, because we haven't seen them interact at all, Leonard and Dolly. But I don't even know if they know each other, to be honest. But it would be quite fun to see them interact. But Dolly may have changed a lot, and Leonard, of course, also, because they've lost a lot of people. Leonard lost Klein, Dawn, and pretty much a lot of people, actually. a lot in the service died, old Neil and everything, and they had a lot of closer relationship to Leonard than Klein. I think, at least, just because of the sheer amount of time they've spent together. So I'm curious to see if his character has gone through major changes. Oh, Klein. Oh, that was short. That was incredibly short. Oh. He is just doing acrobatics here, and he has a smile on his face. Normally, I would almost not criticize, but I would think it would be strange for him to smile with an easy smile on his face, but the clown potion did give him full, like, control of his body and his face, so he can do whatever expression he wants to. And he's throwing something. He's throwing... This is quite serious, I think. Not as easy or as carefree as Klein makes it out to be, but he's throwing something. It seems to just be a piece of wood, could also be paper. And now we switch a scene to... Oh. That's interesting. That is... I like that a lot, actually. We have a head here flowing into the body of this creature. And I don't think this is a Beyonder gone berserk or a monster, creature, abomination, whatever you want to call it. I don't think it's anything like that. This feels far too controlled to be anything like that. Or maybe when high sequences goes insane or loses control, there's something fundamental different. But so far, this doesn't align with my idea when they lose control. I think this is a Beyonder pathway. And a Beyonder pathway that is this fleshy and biological mutation. I wonder what direction they're gonna take it, because obviously this is probably gonna be a bad guy, but in what direction are they gonna take it? Because they could take it that it's simply biological evolution. They chooses what to have, or the more chaotic mutation and animalistic frenzy. I wonder what direction they're gonna put. And is also flowing. It actually also reminds me of in season 1 with C. That character, he has a heavy cloak of him. I don't think we see any body part of him. He's just talking, he's flying. And he actually, if you put a cloak over all of that, they could probably be similar. So I wonder if this could even be C. But probably not, but could be someone of the same pathway, maybe. But also, it's the head that's flowing. It seems... I don't think it's another people's head and it's just eating it. I think it seems it's probably its own. And it's just become lethally, or it was not dangerous. It was hurt. And this is like, it goes to this form to sort of recover himself. Or alternatively, or more interestingly, it could have maybe hidden in a body. Because this is mostly flesh and blood and gore. So maybe someone on that pathway could hide in somebody's body and just burst free. That would be cool. And it's not it seems almost tentacly. I think I've done enough speculation on this. This is Leonard, probably. Never mind, it's not Leonard. It has the same kind of hand thing. It's a new character. He has slick back hair and he looks like the guy who sit on a chair with the flowers emblem on it. So that could also be a Beyonder. He is also rich and he's forming something here out of red energy. Or it could be blood and flesh, it could be that this and the previous shot is the same character or of the same pathway, because it. Nah, I feel that initially, but now that I see there's so much fire imagery, it feels like it would be on a different pathway. And I don't think it would be on the Bard pathway either. Because Bard, we've seen so far, Bard feel like such a holy pathway of light and holiness. This feels far too aggressive. This feels like a different pathway, but fire related. It like fire warrior. I don't know, like a pyromancy. It feels more like that. And yeah, this is the character. And next shot. Interesting that the spear seems to have an actual stuck form, consistency, materialized. Is throwing it? Before I comment on that. Some kind of pyromancy. I can't speculate more on that. And now we have here the lady in the funeral. in the funeral outfit. And here she has purple eyes. Could it be that she's on the assassin pathway and she's a witch? Could be. But she has purple eyes, and we saw earlier another character who also had purple eyes. So it could be that this pathway related to it, and or something. But as we saw her eyes is turning purple right now. It's not her natural eye color. While on the other character, it seemed like it was the natural eye color. Now this could simply be a different in sequence, that once you become far enough in sequence, your eye color will naturally reflect this energy. I could see that. This feels more like a character that we would interact with, the girl with the funeral outfit, and not the one with the purple eyes. He seemed, with the hood and everything, he seemed quite cool. Using some sort of energy and jumping. This doesn't... now I'm sure if it actually is the witch pathway, the assassin pathway. They also had this purple color scheme. But she doesn't move like a witch, I feel like. Because of the large number of encounters of 2 we've seen with witches. But I could simply be wrong. Could be a difference in fighting style. And she's fighting the puppet master. And he has fire around him. Interesting. They're fighting. What the hell is going on here? We got a guy with a hood, or girl, and growing massive horns, bull horns. Oh my god. So we see this creature, and it could be that this creature is that character, the one who grew the horns. Or it could be that this creature is the one they diverge from the potion, the take from it. Because we know that potions seem to come from specific creatures. For example, the spectator pathway comes from the dragon. We learned that in the special. It could be like that, and they of course inherit probably the traits, so somewhat at least. But then this is the switch scene. This seems far more like a transformation. Even behind, we see that his cloak grew a lot. Yeah, I think I would bet, or I wouldn't bet, but I think that they are the same person. And then we have a lot of fires, so could it be related to the pyromancy? The pyromancy thing we saw earlier with the spear and everything. It reminds me of a bull, but it got wings and everything. Yeah, it is the same person. It also reminds me of a Christian demon, or I guess the media, I don't know how you phrase it, but from that way. But I don't know. See a lot of fire, and then we have the other character. All right, so that pathway is not really fire. The fire seems to come out from this person, the pyromancy, as we saw earlier. He created the fire spear, and it's probably him who's fighting. So they're fighting each other, and it could be a pathway that maybe specializes in transformations. It could be, or it could be that fleshy sequence. I don't know. Let's continue watching. Oh, bunch of metal strings and a death. A skull emblem. This is probably another secret organization that we're going to get introduced to. And based on the clothing, I think it would be fair to say that it's the pyromancer. But the strings are causing me worry what they actually are. Oh. That's this is very interesting visual. It could mean a lot of things, this visual. It could mean that he has sort of split himself with the spiritual side and his physical body, that they feel quite different. It could both mean literally and metaphorically, because purely the different of what they do in these forms. Oh. Let's go back. Black and white, some sort of explosion, and some gathering and then releasement of something. That symbol doesn't mean anything to me, so I can't guess. And then we see the strings again. It is probably the puppeteer strings that we saw the puppeteer character have. And this seems like Klein. Yes. It's somebody. It is Klein. I like his new outfit. And he is very hurt. He's almost decayed. Or deceased. It could simply be hurt from the fight. Or it would be interesting if he was actually inflicted by the disease that the poor have. The poor have. That seems to infect the slums. I don't know, I'm really banking on that right now. He's fighting, he's throwing something, a card. Oh, does he still have those cards that he got from Dunn, those super special cards? I didn't know that, I thought they were lost, but yeah, that's great, he got a weapon. Where are we right now? We're in a building. A nice building. Actually, a very nice, based on the decor. And it doesn't seem like something that Klein would be able to afford after he fled, because he got no money. So it could mean that this, maybe he's breaking and entering, maybe he's doing something like that, maybe he just happens to be in a very fine dining place. I doubt it. It could mean that maybe this is a meeting for Beyonders, because he gotta get in contact with a new Beyonder group. Whether that's an organization or something else. But we've seen, based on the special, that there's a lot of rogue Beyonders, actually. A lot more than I originally thought. So I bet that there are Beyonder gatherings, and we'll see if Klein can join them. And this may be a place that they gather? Maybe? Oh. This is... It looks like the pyromancy, but now I'm wondering if I'm just blind and can't see the difference between characters. It may have been... I may have confused characters, but if this is the Pyromancer, he is losing a lot of body parts and transforming. It's the oh, indeed. We'll see in the shadows and from his hands that he's going through a flesh transmutation. I think this is an effect of a Beyonder pathway. I don't think he's going insane or something like that. And the Beyond, his pose and the shadow actually reminds me somewhat of the True Creator. But it is a pretty basic pose. It's just T-posing, so it could just be a coincidence. You got a gun. And we see Klein here is very hurt. Or infected by something. Shooting a bullet. Oh dear. Was that it? It seems like that was it. Alright. Let's review. What have I gathered from this trailer that I can say with somewhat certainty? Everything here is too much speculation. I don't think I can say anything like that, but we do know. I like this because I think the new focus, or a new main enemy, or the new thing that enemies can do, the new sequence problem that is in Buckland, is gonna be some form of fleshy sequence. It's gotta be, because of how much of this we're seeing. Because we've seen this in a lot of characters. We see this on this character, we see it in two others with the Pyromancer and Klein, that they have traces, almost like their flesh is showing, like scar tissue almost. And it gotta be effect of a pathway, right? And this pathway may be bringing out the disease or inflecting them with this, and this eventually seems to cause them to erupt into fleshy gores, transforming them into monsters, as we saw with the Pyromancer here. And we did see earlier, I'm unsure if I can find it right now. Oh yeah, here. Never mind. Here. This fleshy goo monster. No, that's a bit mean. I shouldn't say that. We don't know. It's not. You're not a goo monster. But I think this isn't someone who's been caught. Well, no, I think it's somebody who could have been infected by whatever pathway it is that inflicts this. Or it could be the being, the person who's doing it, and transform itself into this for, like, to fight or something like that. But now that I'm looking at it, I could also see it being some sort of parasite, a monster, but it feels too deliberate. If so, it would be an artificial monster. I think this is such a pathway. And don't tell me, because I want to wait until the reveal in the second season, but I am so curious about that pathway. And I'm pretty sure it is a pathway right now. Interesting transformation and interesting visual shown here. I guess it also could show that he splits his consciousness, but I don't think that's the case. I think this is just a cool visual thing. And the Puppet Master, we'll see how much relevant he is. Probably a lot, because it's in the trailer. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot of new, different characters, and I wonder how alone our protagonist will be, Klein, them, because he's in such a new environment. And if he's gonna be alone most of the time, or if he's gonna get new teammates, or to simply focus on something else. We're gonna look at Leonard and his progression and everything, and we're gonna move a bit away from Klein. I could see that it's splitting its attention about where to really look, but I don't know. We'll see. I think I'm finished, and I'll see you some other time. Bye.